Here we go. Okay. So first play here, sweep. Run a sweep to the left. Okay, I'll go left to right here. We'll start off with Lucas Knoll. So you come on out. We got no one out in your gap, so you're going to just do a slip block here. One thing, so he does slant inside. His hip disappears, so then you just work up to the next level there, working up to that backer. That's great. You get your hands on him. You're driving him. You're physical. That's awesome, Lucas. That's exactly what we need. Watching Ben Witt. Okay, take your 2 steps. He slants hard inside. Now, here's the thing that we got to be smart. So, Renardi also has a scoop block, and you have a scoop block. You do not have help on the inside. If he had like a bow call here, or just a chip, or sorry, a slip block, then and his gap is open, then you would have some help here. But since he has a guy, if he has a guy in his gap, then he has to take him. Okay, so we should be scoop, scoop right here. So pretty much you got to take this guy wherever he goes. But this is tough because, oh, shoot. This is tough because he does slant hard inside. Okay, we just got to try to get any hand on him we can, which you do. You did get a punch on him. But notice how he sets himself up for failure because we're just going to run right outside him, which is really, really nice. And they don't have any contained player, which makes it really nice for us. And that's why this is a good play for us. Okay, Renardi, we have to try to track our head to that play side armpit. Notice how we're not here, okay, and we're high. We need to try to get our head there right away because your guy had a potential of making the tackle there. I do like how you stay on him, but immediately let's try to work our head to the outside. Let's have an awareness of knowing where the play is going and just try to get our body in between the defender and where the ball is going. We just need to get our head on that play side armpit. Okay, Taglin here. I know this guy's into you right away. He's scooted up on the ball. This is where center is probably the hardest job on the line because you're right up on the ball. You don't have any space to try to take your steps. So I can tell you're trying to work over to your gap, which is good. You're trying to get your gap arm free. McKinney, I can tell that you're trying to take over. Bury your head, bury your head. The hip has not disappeared. Okay, if that hip does not disappear, McKinney, if that hip's still there, if that guy's still there, I want you to try to bury your head here and still try to stay in front of him and just both you guys drive this guy back. Start just driving him back, and we'll stay on that as a true double team. And Ben will keep working and try to keep his gap side arm free. Okay, don't leave if that hip is still there. Okay, just stay on him if that hip is still there. Now, if this guy slanted all the way over into this gap, and there was nothing for you to punch here, McKinney, then you can work up. Okay. And Wick, we don't go to the right guy here. Well, this is tough. He looks like he might be over into his gap, but McKinney did, he said scoop, so you might not have known if he was going there or going there. So that's pretty tough. In that case, we could just work up and try to go and go up to the next level and go try to find somebody else. We really don't need to mess around with this guy because he's so far back behind the play. Okay. So you could just rip right up and try to get and chase the backer down. Okay. Go to the next one, counter. Want to counter to the left here. Watch Ben Witt first. Okay, Ben Witt, I love your footwork. That's awesome footwork right there. This is exactly how a down block should look. This is going to go on my highlight reel of how down block should look. One thing I would say is that your head needs to be on that play side number. I want your head on the play side number. If this is a bigger guy, okay, and he was really trying to penetrate upfield, he's going to be able to do that because we do not have our head on our right here on the number on our landmark we're supposed to be on. Okay, we're only stopping him with our shoulder and our arm, which he's going to be able to run through that. But your footwork, 1, 2, 3, looks very, very good. Okay, I love how you take your directional step, second step in the ground, third step is your contact step. Okay, very powerful being able to wash him down. Okay, and now let's wash him. Let's see if he washes him past the center. Very, very nice. That's exactly what we need to do. We started on the hash. Ben Witt is past the hash. Okay, and notice how this play opens up for us. Okay, that's excellent. Okay, Renardi, looks like you're down on the hip. Looks like you get a nice punch. Okay, you're much lower than you were last week, which is great. Okay, and then working up to FBI and when that hip disappears. Okay, Taglin trying to throw that guy into your gap. I'd say he's underneath you, and this happened a lot during this game. Okay, these guys were good firing off low and getting underneath. Only thing I could say is try to step back with this foot to give yourself some space. Second step there, and try to get underneath him with your shoulder. We got to try to jack him up. If you get jacked up, that's when you get punched in the backfield. You have to work on trying to stay low and having a wide base. So to help you out with that, if these guys are bunched up on the ball, your first step goes back instead of to the side, Taglin. Have it go back, and then your second step to the crotch, and try to get your shoulder, especially since you have a cast on, try to get your shoulder underneath them and jack them up so it's easier for us to get a double team here. That might help you out. Okay, but we do secure that nose guard, which is great. Okay. McKinney, this is a tough thing here, but we got a ton of room here. Okay, the next thing that should be off this butt is your head. Okay, so you should be right in here with your head low, attacking that hip. Okay, stepping up with that foot and driving this guy out. I know he's wrong arming it here, which does make it tough. Okay, but I feel like we could be a little bit tighter here. You might get thrown off by Taglin getting driven back a little bit. If that's the case, we need to adjust our footwork next time to try to make sure we step back a little bit more so we can prepare for that, so we can then redirect and get upfield so we can make sure we get our head here, because this is where the play blew up. Okay, like I said, we have 3 good blocks on the front here, and then this one kick out block is what kills the play. We have to get the kick out play. Or we have to get the kick out because we have the wall, but now we need to get the other side of the funnel. Okay, we have to make sure we get that block because our running back is doing a good job staying tight inside. Okay, he's doing a great job trying to keep it tight, but since we don't get the kick out, we don't get the funnel, we don't get the wall, okay, and this guy's able to fall in and make the tackle, and that's why it's only a 1-yard gain. So pulling guards, it's critical that we get our head down here on the hip. Okay, we get that power step up, and we drive this guy out. Canole, same thing. We got to make sure when we do the skip pull, we keep it tight to the wall. So hopefully you can still get inside this right here, and you can still get inside this where we're trying to run the ball. I know it looks like you have your eyes on your guy, and he flows outside, so you flow outside with him. Okay, what I'd rather you do is still get up into the hole, Canole, and then look out for him and just try to block him out, and you'll be on the other side of this funnel. Okay, don't go outside the hole. I still want you up into the hole, H's. Okay, but that's where that play broke down, right there. And what steps down hard? That's great, Jake, stepping down hard, replacing the guard like you're supposed to. It's very, very good. Okay, we run sweep again. Okay, right here, this combo looks really, really good. That's very nice. Canole's working up to the next level. Okay. I know it's tough order, but try to get our head to the play side armpit if we can. Okay, where this play breaks down, once again, we got to get our head to the play side number. Let's look at your initial steps. Okay, take a little bit of a bucket step, second step going straight to the crotch now. Okay, this second step should have been a little bit more of a crossover here because he's off the ball, but the biggest thing is just our head placement. Okay, your angle's not too bad. Okay, but when we make contact, it's got to be we have our head across on the armpit because this cannot happen. This is what kills the play. This happened a couple times. Okay, it ruins everything. It ruins the timing. It ruins the running back's read. And this is where we start getting negative plays, is when we have penetration. We cannot have any sort of penetration. Okay, I want you to get your head across. But worst case scenario, if you can't get your head across, you can at least try to drive him down the line of scrimmage and not give up any penetration. The absolute worst thing you can do is have him get upfield and cause penetration and get into the backfield. That's the worst thing you can have happen. Okay, so best thing is you get your head across. Second best thing is that you drive him down the line. The worst thing is that he gets upfield and gets penetration. Okay, Taglin, this is a pretty good job. Still too high. I want you to try to get underneath them. Okay, you get your play side arm free, it looks like, and you guys keep working on them, which is good. McKinney, you do a lot better job trying to bury your head. Now just keep burying your head and staying on him and drive the guy back. Drive him back into the linebacker if you can. Okay. Wick, this is a lot better. This is exactly what you should do, what you should have done on the first time there. And you can notice how a wall is forming on the backside here. Okay. We have a nice wall starting to form here. Now it would have been really nice if we could get our head across and that could be a part of the wall. Okay. And then the running back can just make his read. He could go here. He could go there. He could go there. But since he had a guy in his face, he only had one way to go. Trap. Okay, here. We'll start here. Once again, Ben Witt replaces the guard. Very nice. Steps down hard. I would like to see you get your head across more, but that's still not bad. Okay, notice how he becomes part of the wall. And since he stepped down so hard, he runs into the center and he has nowhere to go, and we wall him off. He replaces the guard. Very, very nice. Okay, looking at Renardi here, pulling. Okay, not a bad pull. You were low. Okay, if you were standing up high, he would have stonewalled you, but since you were lower, you were able to deliver a blow. Okay. And he's trying to wrong arm you. I still would like you lower as much as you can. Try to get on that hip. I know this makes it tough here when he wrong arms it. Okay, just try to get as low as you can. And notice when you made contact, that's when you made contact. Okay, your other foot should be in front. Okay, your right foot should be in front, left foot back as you make contact here and try to wheel him out. But notice that's a nice looking wall starting to form here. Okay. So we'll go to Taglin. Okay, you're devoting a little bit too much here, I think. Okay, I want you to stay square more. So it should be first step is with your left foot up and down, second foot straight to the crotch, staying square, looking for maybe this guy to come to your gap. Okay, it looks like we're coming here a little bit too much and we're way too high. Once again, Taglin, you need to be underneath him. You need to be underneath him, trying to lift him up. He lifts you up here. Okay. Because technically, Ben, your gap you're responsible for is right here. So you got to make sure you have a presence in your gap. You can't turn all the way fully and devote to him. Okay. McKinney, what's your first step? That's your first step. You step underneath yourself. Okay. I'd rather you step straight forward and out at the guy you're blocking. Second thing, your head. I want your head on the play side number. Okay, so you can get more in front of this guy. Notice how there's a lot of separation, a lot of room here. I'd rather you get your head here so there's less separation and we can really blow this guy off the ball. This is not bad. We definitely move him, but it can be better. Okay, here, this is prime reason number one right here, guys. Sorry, someone else is joining. This is reason number one why we need to get our head on the play side number. We still need to cover this guy up, guys, just like on our base block, how we cover him up. Okay, but we don't have to get our head all the way across, but we still need to be in front of him. We still need to be in front of him. Because if we don't, this guy can get upfield just like this and cause penetration and get into the backfield. And notice that little bit, that little penetration causes him to have to bounce off and around, which slows him up, and it turns a 2-3 yard gain into a -1 yard gain. or a negative 1 yard loss, sorry. Just because of that little penetration. So that's why, guys, our landmarks are super important. Okay. The landmarks are not a suggestion. Landmark is in order for you to be successful. Okay. We need to try to get our head right there on that play side number so we can be in front of him as we drive him down the line so he cannot blow us back and get any penetration. We have to get our head on that near number on our down block. I hope you guys can see that. That's exhibit A as to why we need to do that. Because look, this is very nice. We have a nice kick out. This is a nice big wall, but because our running back gets hit from penetration, okay, it causes this nice gain into a loss. Okay, I think we jump off sides here. We'll skip this. Okay, looking at our pass protection. Okay, watching everyone. This is good. Everyone's protecting their inside gap here. Okay, they're moving their feet. That's nice. We're trying to influence guys out to the outside, which is really good. Wick, your eye should be here all day, bud. Okay, your eyes should be out on your key all day. I understand what you're trying to do. Okay, but this hurts us later on in the game where you look inside and try to help it and try to help inside, and this guy comes free and gets a sack. Okay, I try to make it really easy for you where you are just manned up across the board so you don't have to worry about anything else. Okay, we should have our eyes on our guy at all times. Okay, man on man. Okay, but overall, that looks really good. We get a nice cut. Okay, we run boot here. Okay, this is really good, making this look like power. Okay, McKinney, you do this is an excellent job stepping down hard, just like you would on a power play. It makes it look like power. This guy totally thinks power is coming. Wick, I would like you to run down just like McKinney is, really try to sell this power, okay? Because that would probably squeeze this guy down more, Wick, if you would do that. If you really came after that backer, it would squeeze him down more. And now look, he thinks he's getting kicked out. This guy's an idiot. Look at him. He steps down hard like he's going to wrong arm. Then boop, we get to his outside shoulder. Easy, easy, easy log right there. Okay, but stay on him. I don't know why we're coming off him. We need to stay on him. But that's easy, easy yards right there. That's why we run this play. Okay. But everyone else, nice across the board. I like your steps. Okay. We need to make sure we stay tight on this guy. And just like our helmet placement, now our helmet placement should be on his, when we log him, should be still on that play side armpit here. Let's get it there. Let's keep it there. Let's keep it there. Let's stay on this guy. Maintain our block. Okay, sprinting out here. Sprinting to the left. So right there. Okay, right there. We're all stepping. If there's no one to our gap, then we turn back to help our buddies backside here. Okay, let's watch Ben Witt. So good. You step. He slants inside. Should be an easy block. We stay on him. Okay. We step down here. Check our gap. You do have a guy coming to your gap. Okay, this is where it's tough. This is very, very tough for us, where you do step down and you give help here. But the one thing I'll say, Renardi, is that so you give help. So give your play side arm here to help out, but then keep your backside arm open so we can still give a punch to this guy. So Renardi, what you're doing is right, okay, but still be a part of the swinging door or the swinging gate and stay square to the swinging gate, okay? Don't totally sell yourself out to this guy. Try to still stay square on the swinging gate, keeping this arm free so you can give a punch to this guy, okay? Now, Taglin, you could also help out here. You got to check your gap first, just like Renardi does. Check your gap, and if you see this guy blitzing the A gap, you got to give a punch to him. And then same thing, you can turn back and help back here late instead of just turning right away. So notice how now we have a hole in our door, in our swinging door or swinging gate, okay, because we turn back right away. We want to all try to stay square, okay, so we can block 2 guys, 1 guy coming to each gap as best as we can. Same thing, we're just trying to slowly get run over and slow them down. Okay, but if we have a hole in our gate, we really can't do that. And so he's in our quarterback's face pretty quick, or he pressures him. Okay. Okay, running dive Sam to the left here. So coming out base block, should have a chip, a base, and then a base block. Okay, Ben Witt, I like your steps there. Try to stay square on him if you can. But I like how Ben Witt runs his feet. Notice he gets his head on his number. He's lower than this guy. He has a wide base. He's running his feet, and he's staying on him. That's exactly what it should look like, and that's that drill we were running today, trying to work on. That's how it should look right there. Okay, Renardi looking at you. Okay, you take your shuffle step. Renardi, I'd say one thing for you, you're too much on your toes. Okay, you're too much on your toes there. See how you're both on your toes? Notice how Ben Witt, he's flat-footed. Okay, that's how we need to be. We need to be stomping into the ground. We shouldn't be running at guys. We need to make sure that we're driving through the middle of our feet and not our toes. Okay, that's where you start getting too top-heavy, and it's really easy for guys to throw you off. Okay, example A. Okay, not on our toes, stomping the ground on our insteps, guys. That's what we need to be doing. Okay, your head placement can be better. Okay, we also need to get squared up on this guy as much as we can. Okay, but like I said, you didn't give up penetration, so this is okay, but I want you to be in front of the guy and not giving up any penetration and getting your head on the right place. Okay, so Teglin. Okay, this guy kind of looks like he's in your gap here. So once again, Ben, to help you out, your first step can go back to try to get your feet underneath you. Okay, your first step can go back. Your second step can even maybe go back a little sideways. Okay, so you can get your feet underneath you, and so you can get lower to get your head on underneath him. So when I say step backwards, you'll step back, but your body weight your momentum is still going forward. I don't want you to think like you're pass setting. Your first step goes back, but your momentum goes forward, and that's going to drop your center of gravity. I hope that makes sense. Okay, if it doesn't, I can show you tomorrow what I'm kind of saying. But your first step goes back, but your momentum is going forward, and stepping back is going to help you get your feet underneath yourself. And this is only for centers because centers are on the line of scrimmage and not guards and tackles. That might help you, though, get your feet underneath you so we don't get thrown off this block. Okay? Ben McKinney.
That does make sense.
Okay, good. Ben McKinney, this is the right time for you to come off. That hip disappears. I love how you step down here to check. Okay, that's great. Try not to push your own guy, though. Try not to, because I think that might help the nose guard get rid of Ben Teglin here. Just step down, and you can put your arm out, but don't push on Ben at all. I know that's probably not intentional, but notice how it just kind of throws Ben off, and that guy's able to make the tackle. Okay, the second step thing I would say is look at your feet here, McKinney. You heel click there. You're completely off the ground. We want to take a shuffle step. It should go 1, 2. Not a heel click, and I think that kind of gives you more momentum that you want than you wanted into this. Okay, so it should be 2 shuffle steps, and then when you see that hip disappear, then you can work up to the next level like you're doing. Okay, just need to be a little bit more under control. And then Jake, good, chasing that guy down. Okay, same thing with you, Wick. Notice how you start running right away here. Shuffle. Don't run after him. Shuffle down. Okay? If he gets down farther, shuffle down. Stay square. Don't start running at him. Shuffle and stay square, because when you start running, that's when you're going to lose leverage, and then all you can do is try to push the guy past the hole, which is not what we want to do. Shuffle down and get in front of him. Stay square to the line of scrimmage. and try to get your head to the play side number. Shuffle down, don't run at them. Okay, still get 3 yards, but this could have been a really, really big play for us if just this didn't happen. Like I said, we have guys doing their job, which is great. Okay, but it's just one miscue that causes all this to blow up. Okay, so guys, we were good. We were good offensively. There's just 1 or 2 guys that caused everything to blow up, and that's what's tough about offensive line. Okay, here. Okay, Wick, we talked about this. If he runs out of there, then just turn back and look to help. Still be a part of the gate. You can help out McKinney there. McKinney does a great job. That's exactly what you need to do. Taglin, good. Okay, Renardi, great. But then if there's no one in your gap, go block this guy. Stay on him. Stay on him. Okay, Benwet, that's good. Like it. Okay, this happens a little early, but this play was here all day, guys. We could have ran this play all day because they were really selling down hard on our power counter trap. So it's a good job.
Hey, Doozer, I got to go.
All right. You have any questions for me?
No, I'll watch the YouTube when you're done.
All right. Sounds good. See ya. Okay, power. Next play here. Starting left to right. Ben Witt steps down. That's really good. Awesome. Hip to hip. I love it. Joining the wall. Okay, Renardi. Oh, Renardi. Go out a little bit wider. Okay, I know you're staying tight. That's great, but this isn't your guy. Have your eyes on your guy. Have your eyes on your guy. Okay, which should be the next play side backer right there. Have your eyes on him. See where he goes. Okay,
I thought that's what he called.
Nope.
So that's why I was confused.
This is the little B. You need to go after the big B here. So you need to go over. So you got to play kind of like a linebacker would. Okay, you got to find the hole right there, and we need to be up into that hole right there. So then that's my fault, I would say, for you not knowing which is the correct guy to go to. I don't know. I thought I was clear, but I mean,
No, like I thought Wick called a different guy. I thought he called that guy, which is why I was confused. And
Okay.
I was in the middle, and I was confused, like right in the middle, because I look and I'm like,
well, first off, Steven, he shouldn't be calling anyone for you. He's calling someone for the H because the H is the guy that's kicking out. If you're pulling and leading up and through as a pulling guard, if you're skip pulling up through the hole, you're looking for a linebacker. No one's making a call for you. He's only making a call for the guy who's kicking out, which in this case in power, the H is kicking out. Okay, you're leading up and through the hole.
okay.
So if you're a pulling guard up and through the hole, no one's making a call for you. You just got to know I got play side backer, which is that guy, and you need to have your eyes on him. Okay. So that's a good teaching point, good learning point. Okay, Taglin, you're better being underneath this guy. You can still be under him a little bit more. I like how you step to your gap. Okay, and you're waiting for McKinney to try to push that guy over. We just love if we can try to throw him over a little bit more into our gap. Okay, McKinney, we shouldn't be coming off of this until that hip disappears. And McKinney, you can help yourself doing that by trying to get your hands more on the hip, trying to close down a little bit more, being a lower. It looks like we're just a little bit too high. And it looks like we almost missed the hip. It looks like we're kind of more on his backside than his hip here. And so that's why we really don't get good movement. I would like to see your shoulder and everything still in front of him, because notice since we're kind of on his backside that we get this gap, which allows him to split it. So push block, guys, I still want you to try to get hip to hip with the center here. I still really want you to get really tight to the center because you're trying to be a part of that wall and get your hands on the hip and drive that guy over. Because if we're not tight to the center, we notice this separation. We get this separation, and that guy's able to fight back through. So guards on your push block, think about getting hip to hip with the center still and driving that guy over. We got to take care of the first level first. And then Wick, Case, I would like us to get our head in front and try to wash this guy down. Notice since we don't get a good wash, it makes the hole kind of small. Okay? And we just got to keep running our feet through and trying to drive that guy down. That guy does a good job stonewalling you. But if we're a little bit lower and get our head across, we might be able to get a better drive. But still, we need to be able to see this and bounce outside of it. Same thing with our running back. Canole needs to do a better job at being down at the hip right away. Notice how he's just standing. I would like to see him lower. See how he's standing? I'd like to see him lower in a lineman position, ready to go kick somebody out. Okay, he's way too high. And notice he hits, this guy's underneath him, so we get zero movement. We're not on the hip. Okay, I don't care that this guy's wrong arming. He still has more than enough space to get his head down on the hip and move this guy. But notice since he doesn't, okay, there's no hole here. There's no funnel being created because we don't get the kick out. The kick out is crucial, guys. And we have to get our head down on the hip, and he's not doing that. And he has room to do so. Notice how his feet make contact. He needs to have that outside foot up, not this inside foot. He needs to have that power step up. That's the only way that we're going to be successful. Doing the little things right. Okay, here, one run counter the other way. Ben Witt, okay, want to see your head on that near number, not on the side. Notice since once again, guys, another big theme to take here. On our down blocks, you have to get your head in front of him. We still need to be in front of him. We cannot be on the side, because if we're on the side, we're going to fall off, and this guy's going to get penetration. I hope all of you guys see that, and it's really, really clear. And you guys have, in your brain, when you have a down block, you say, I need to get in front of this guy as I drive him on a 45 degree. I can't get on the hip like this because he's going to get penetration upfield. Okay? And this is a guy that's not bigger than us. Imagine if this guy was bigger, he's just going to blow right through you. You got to make sure you get your head in front of him so that doesn't happen. Okay, watch Renardi. Okay, you do get on your 45-degree angle. You kind of step underneath yourself. I want to see you step at him a little bit more. Don't step underneath yourself. I want to see you gain ground at him. Okay, looks like we're down at the hip. Okay, same thing. We could be a little bit tighter with our hips to Taglin. That's my fault. I'll take the responsibility for that, for not being as clear as I could be. But Renardi, I like how you stay on that until the hip disappears. That's really, really nice. Okay, we join the wall. That's what we want to do. Okay, what would be better is if we had Benwitt down there joining the wall with us. Okay, that would be a lot better if we had you four guys on the wall. Watch McKinney pulling. Okay, that's good. That's getting better right there. Okay, that's how it should be. I like how we're getting an effort. He's doing a really good job wrong arming as well. Okay, I really like that. That's a lot better. Okay, and notice how he almost has that inside foot up. See, this is when he makes contact. Now imagine if he already had that foot down into this guy. That guy would be the guy that gets blown back, not McKinney there. Okay, get that foot down. Get that power step down and drive into him, and you'll notice a big difference. Okay, but that's not bad. Notice right here, okay, we're starting to have that funnel forming here. Okay, I'll go, Wick, you do a good job here. I'm going to go to Canole. Once again, Canole, I want you inside here. You need to be inside the kick out. Don't go outside the kick out. Be inside, be a lead blocker. Don't go outside there. Okay, in this case, it helps us, but that's because the running back is not doing his job. The running back needs to be downhill here. So Canola, you need to be downhill in the gap. Okay. This is when we call counter log, which is what we should have called that a lot more as coaches. We should have been more, should have seen that they're wrong arming like this, and we should have called more counter logs. And then this is what we would have done. Okay. But the A back is not doing his job. He should have kept it inside. So in that case, RH needs to keep it inside. Okay, dive sprint. So this is just dive left for us. Okay, here we should be base, base. Okay, this should just be maybe a chip, or maybe it's just a bow where he checks his gap before he goes up. This is a base. This is a base. Okay, we'll watch Ben Witt. Okay, Ben, you should be going on this guy. I don't know why we're looking at him. You already have a guy in your gap. Okay, maybe you called, maybe you noticed that this blitz stunt was coming. Which
Yeah, I got confused because I saw the blitz was coming, I'm thinking I was gonna go all the way out, and then Renardi might come over to where his gap would have been.
I got you, and I hear you. Okay, so this is what I'll say. If you already have block the first guy that's in your gap. Okay, I want to make it simple for you. That's good that you recognize this. And maybe I shouldn't have even said anything because you already have a guy in your gap. If you have a guy in your gap already, go and block that guy that's in your gap. And maybe we should have just manned this, which I think we ended up doing later on, but we should have just been on, because the guy that comes in, well, he gets a hand on him, which is a big deal. Okay, but if we were just manned, or base, we would have been good here. Okay, let's watch Renardi here. You get back on your guy. Okay, but same thing, Renardi, I'll say, don't get on your toes. And just notice how you're on your toes and you're way too top heavy. You're just way too top heavy leaning forward. Okay, I want you to focus on stomping on the ground, okay, with your feet flat-footed. That's what I want you to focus on here. Okay, Taglin, I really like what you do here. It looks like you made a bow call, or you're just checking your gap. You see this guy slant in, boom, you help pick him up. That's awesome. Okay, McKinney, this is the problem right here. You're skipping, you're heel clicking, okay, which gets you way too far over, and that's why this guy's able to fall back inside. It should be a short 6-inch, and then up. That's where it should be. Okay, because he's in your gap and he's even closer. Okay, I understand you might take a little bit longer step if he was over Taglin, but he's not. He's in your gap, so take shorter steps. Notice how when you heel click here, you get way over the top. We don't want that to happen. Shorter steps if he's closer into your gap. And Wickern, stay on him. Stay on him. Okay. Okay, once you get in front of him here, get your hands inside, keep on him, keep running your feet. Okay, this could have been a big play for us. But once again, I'll take the blame for this, for even bringing that up. Just go block the guy that's in your gap. If you already have a guy in your gap, go block him. Okay, what time is it? 7:41. Let's go to defense here. We've watched a lot of that.
Adios.
See ya.
I'm gonna have to go.
What was that?
I have to go. I'm about to get to the location I am driving to.
Okay, sounds good.
See you tomorrow.
Yep. All right. Talk about defense here. Okay, so I'm going to have to guess a little bit on what the defensive call is because it's not up here. I think this is just base blue. So I'll go left to right. Watching Ben
The only
Witt.
two plays really called us Base Blue and Base Blue Viper. So when I slant to the B gap, it's most likely Base Blue Viper.
Okay, sounds good. So Ben Witt does a good job getting on his guy, staying in front of him. That's awesome. Okay. Gets in front of his guy, gets his hands on. He's not allowed to go up to the second level, which is great. Okay, he brings 2 guys with him. So notice 1, 2, demands a double team, which is great. We should have an extra guy pulling over the top. Jake Wickern does a great job here, getting hands inside. Boom, I love this. This is awesome. Okay, wide base. I can't see his elbows because his hands are inside. He's lower than the guy in front of him. He's controlling both of his gaps. That's exactly what a base technique should look like. Okay. Cam, I don't know if it's your stance, because I noticed this today as well. I don't know if it's your stance. You got too much weight forward. Maybe you need to have a little bit more weight back in order for you to get those 2 steps down faster. So then now we can get in front of this guy. Okay, because I need you in front of him right away. I can't notice how he gets hands on this linebacker here. We cannot allow this guy up to the second level. This guy needs to be able to flow over the top and go make the tackle. We have to make sure we stay in front of him. If he wants to leave us, we cannot let him leave us. And I can tell where your eyes are right now. And that's not good. Okay. You are not in front of your key. You are not allowed to look in that backfield until you are in front of your key and you have arms extended, you have extension, and you're looking through the hips. That's the only time you're allowed to look into the backfield, is once you have commanded your gaps and defeated your key. Okay. We can't just have that little push. And I think it all starts off with your 2 steps and when you're where your eyes are, which are in the backfield. You have to make sure you take your 2 steps. You see him go inside. We need to shuffle, stay square, stay in front of him so this linebacker can go make the play. And who does make the play? That linebacker. Freiermuth does. Okay, but if this guy was a little bit faster and getting there, that's a touchdown for him. That's a touchdown. Okay, you doing this, running into the backfield on a base technique, okay, for the most part, that's not going to help us. Okay, this running back should be right there. He's too wide. Okay, so don't say, oh, well, I got there once, so it's okay. No. This running back, and he does it later in the game. I think it was their last touchdown, or maybe their second touchdown where they ran it in. They ran this, I think it was his exact same play, and he kept it tight and ran it in for a touchdown. Okay, we need to do our job, and if we got a base technique, let the linebacker go make the tackle. Okay, we have to let the linebackers run over free and go make the tackle. Cam, that should not be you making that tackle there, bud. Okay, here, base technique again. Cam, you're too high. Once again, notice when you start looking into the backfield, that's when all of your technique goes down the drain. You need to be looking through the hips. You need to be low. Okay, kind of like Wick is here. Wick looks a little, nope, he looks good there. You need to be just like Wick, looking through the hips here, getting extension. Ben Witt looks really, really good too. But notice how you're the only one that's peering in the backfield here with your eyes up, looking high. You can do that later. You can do that exact same thing you just did, probably even better if you were lower and you had extension. Okay? But you're gazing into the backfield, which you're good enough of an athlete to do that exact same thing, but taking your 2 steps, staying low, and looking through the hips. You're strong enough to defeat your key in front of you, and then athletic enough to get off and go run this down. Okay, but you have to do the first part, which is getting extension and defeating the guy in front of you. Okay, starting with Ben Witt. Once again, steps down, great, gets extension in his gap. Okay, feels a double team, feels the pressure from one side, and then drops the knee. Okay, I love this. This is great. He's low. He's got a wide base. Okay, he's got 3 guys right here trying to block him. That's excellent. This should be a dumb play. It really should. Okay, watching Wick. I don't know what Wick's doing here. His guy tries to go away from him right there. He should be sitting down low. Okay, eyes looking through the hips, get an extension on this guy, even though he has nothing to do with them. He feels this pressure. He should be dropping the knee right away. I don't know why he's trying to split this. This is not your play to make here. He should be just sitting there. And now watching you, Cam, you're the reason why this play gets yards. Okay, you do your little hop step here. Okay, which I think you might just have too much weight forward. Okay, and I think because you have this right leg back all the time, it forces you to step with that foot every single time first. And so when you're on the right side, Cam, and this guy goes down, it puts you at a disadvantage because you always have to step with that foot. Okay, maybe it would help if you had your weight back a little bit more, and then you could take those 2 steps, kind of like a linebacker does, the read steps. Okay, have your feet a little bit more flat-footed.
Doozer.
Yeah.
So I know Sosie and Paul, Fritzy said that the tackles like to really rip down, like that tackle did right there against Cam.
Yep.
Would you want to maybe cheating inside just a little bit so we can get him?
No, because that's not what they're always going to do. And I want you to be able to play both your gaps.
True.
Okay?
Okay. Oh yeah, because of the sweep.
If you're having a hard time, back up off the ball.
All right.
Because that gives you more time to get in front of him. To read him and get in front of him if you notice that he's trying to rib down hard. Back up off the ball if you're having a hard time getting hands on your key. So Cam, maybe that'll help you as well. But notice, Cam, your eyes are right into the backfield. You run upfield, you get kicked out. Okay, they run the ball inside. Yes, you do make the tackle. This is not your tackle to make. You know who's the guy who should be making this tackle? Is this guy right here. Okay, that linebacker should be the guy making the tackle when we have a base technique. But notice he gets up to here, okay, and you get kicked out because you're good enough of an athlete and you're strong enough. You can bench press this guy off you and then come back into the play and make the tackle. Okay, we go against a bigger, better team, or they adjust to this. Okay, this is when we start getting hurt later on. Yeah, it worked this play, but it's not going to work every play. This is not your play to make. You need to stay in front of the tackle, wash him down, let the linebacker flow over the top. Okay, they still try to kick you out, but can't because you're tight to the tackle, and then the linebacker flows over the top and makes the tackle. Okay, and Cam, I don't want you to think that I'm ripping on you. Okay, this is a learning point for everybody. That because everyone across the board runs a base technique, this is good for everyone to see as to why it's important for us to stay in front of our key. So Cam, I'm not mad at you at all. Okay, this is just a great teaching point for me to show. And for us not to make the same mistakes. Because Cam, I thought you had a really good game. Okay, making plays for us, but you did not do your job consistently. And so if you did your job consistently, it would be really, really good for us here. Okay, watching Cam right away, same thing, Cam. You got to take your 2 steps, read your key. Your key goes inside trying to go up to that backer. We can't let him do that. He does get a hand on that backer, which might cause him to flow over the top more than he wanted to, which is not good. We got to stay in front of him and don't let him get up to the second level. Jerry, okay, maybe back up off the ball a little bit, Jerry, because you don't get your 2 steps down before you make contact. Stay square. Okay, you need to stay square. Don't get pushed back into the backside gap. Try to stay square on him. Okay, pacer. Your guy steps down. Your key steps down. You need to be right on top of him, bud. You need to be right on top of him, which you get there late, and that's not good. Okay, you need to be right on top of him going down there. Okay, notice that this is a big play for him. And I think it's because this linebacker did not have a chance to slow play this. Okay, this linebacker isn't doing his job either. Okay, our outside linebacker isn't getting his head across like he's supposed to. Okay, but Cam, once again, I'm not going to Cam, I tell you what, if you watched this guy all the way down and stayed square and then got extension and then noticed the ball was going away and then got rid of him and ran down the line, I bet you make the tackle here instead of running by it. Because notice how you turn and run, and then he cuts right underneath you. This is why we never turn and run on an inside run play. This is why we always stay square to the line of scrimmage when we are in our base technique, because it makes us a one-way player, and then we're susceptible to that cutback. I bet, Cam, if you did your job and squeeze this guy down and stay square and then get rid of him and run down the line of scrimmage when you know the ball's declared, I bet you're sitting right here.
Yeah, that's something I need to work on in practice this week too, is when they start like trying to rip inside or something like that, staying in front of them.
Yep, I bet you're here to make this play. Jerry, you too. We can't get turned around. We got to make sure we stay in our gaps. Okay. Once again, I'm not mad. I'm just passionate because we can be a lot better. Okay, base technique again. Watching Pacer. Okay, he takes his 2 read steps. I like his feet here. Okay, he's reading what's going on. He's got a base technique. Only thing, too high. Hands are not inside. He does not win the hand battle. Okay, he needs to be sitting lower. He does have a wide base. Okay, but since he does not get his hands inside, that's where he's going to get driven back. Okay, I want to see him sitting lower and getting extension. Okay, notice he's reading the backfield from up here and not at the hips. Okay, his hips are not away. I would say that his pecker is snatched here. He's got to make sure he keeps that guy away. Notice how he's getting driven back right into the linebacker, which is not good. Okay, looking at Jerry, takes his 2, no, he's got to take his 2 steps. He's just leaning in here. He's got to back up off the ball, take his 2 steps, get his hands inside, but he does a great job dropping the knee, and look at that, 2-on-1. I love that. This is probably my favorite thing to see as a defensive line coach. As a nose guard, this was my favorite thing to do, was to take on 2 linemen, force a double team, have them lay on top of me, because look who comes across. Look at this linebacker. Okay? No one touches him. He comes across free. Now, if he knew what he was doing, he'd be running right into that gap and blowing this play up into the backfield. But since he's a little inexperienced, he's not doing that. He runs across. But since no one's blocking him, he's able to get there and try to make the tackle. That's because we're doing our job. Cam, same thing. Okay? You know what to do. Thankfully, Jerry does such a great job here and throws this center into the ground that he actually blocks your guy for you. But see, Cam, if you get in front of your guy, this is what can happen. And that guy can go flow. Okay, here we see his pass. Watching Cam. Notice his pass. He goes right away. Okay, I would like to see him be a little bit more cognizant with his rush move here. Okay, if you're gonna bull rush, I want to see your head down in his chest. Okay, I'd like to see that foot right in his crotch and really trying to blow that guy back. Okay, but you do get extension here, which is nice. And because you get extension, you're able to get off and make a tackle here. Okay, but I'd like you to be more intentional with your pass rush move. Okay, watching Jerry. Takes 2 steps, gets extension, needs to start working an edge. Right away, as soon as you see his pass, you need to start working an edge. Don't just keep playing patty cake with this guy. Start working an edge, trying to find a window. Okay, watching Pacer. He sees it's pass. Okay, he works a window right there. He was fast to recognize it, which is great. And he's the one that gets in there, causes a play. That's a good job. Okay, next play. Pacer's too high, needs to be looking through the hips. You can already tell right away. He's looking into the backfield, over the shoulder, not at the hips. So he's going to get driven back, and it's not going to be good for us. Just like that's happening. Okay, he does get rid of the guy, but if he was sitting down lower, he wouldn't have to do a full 360 no scope to do it. Don't want to do that. We want to be down through the hips. Okay, watching Jerry here. Okay, Jerry looks like he drops the wrong hip here, which isn't good. And notice since he's getting driven back, because I think he didn't drop that inside foot, he's getting driven back into this linebacker who now has to go around him. That's why we can't get driven back, because the linebacker then has to drop back, and instead of it being a no yard gain, it's a 3-yard gain, which does add up, and that's a big deal. Okay. Cam, looks like we're still kind of running upfield here. I want to see you on the line of scrimmage, staying square. Last play. Then we'll be done for the night. There we go. Okay. Base technique.
This is base blue Viper.
Okay. So base technique right here. Notice how he's not in front of his key. Where does his key go? Okay, I don't know why he's going down on the nose. I would send him up to a linebacker. That's just me, though. But he needs to stay in front of his guy, which he ends up doing late. I want to see him stay square. Okay. Jerry does a nice job. You said this is Viper? Cam?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly,
Okay.
because we ran Viper a lot and after the second half.
Okay, then you need to be in that gap, don't you? Aren't you ribbing in?
Yeah.
Okay, so here it looks like you're still doing a base technique. It doesn't look like you're ripping at all. Okay, we need to make sure we're inside this gap, because that's our gap right there, and you need to be following. It's really hard to hear what you're saying, and you're kind of sound robotic there. I think it's just connection.
That might be.
Okay, but let's just go through both scenarios. Let's say if this is Viper, you're supposed to be slanting in here. Okay, we tried to work on this a little bit. We'll try to work on it tomorrow. You need to be following that puller. He's going to take you to the play.
Yep. Either way, I should have been following him the whole time.
Yep. If this is a base technique, you need to take your 2 steps, get in front of your guy. Let's see where 64 goes. Okay, he's going up to our linebacker there. Okay, he's staying on him the whole time, which he could technically push him by the play, and that could have been a big play for him. We just got to make sure we base technique, get our hands on, if not following this puller, because that puller would have taken you right to the play. Okay. All right. That's it. It's 8 o'clock. I'll post this to YouTube. Thanks for joining. Thanks for staying late, guys. I really appreciate it. I know you guys are busy. Owen, I hope to see you tomorrow. I see that you're in here. Okay. For the other guys that can't be in here, I'm really, really sorry. I'm feeling for you. I wish you could be with us. We miss you. But let's have a good practice tomorrow, guys. Let's focus on South St. Paul. See you guys.
See